So a few weeks ago, I got this box in the mail from McLaren, and as you can guess by the title of this video, this is the invitation box to purchase McLaren's next hypercar, the successor to the F1 and the P1, and I'm sure you've been seeing all the media buzzes around and all the videos and pictures. It is the W1 McLaren supercar, and first I gotta say, it's an honor and a privilege to be chosen as one of the 399 people to get this box in the mail. Obviously, I love McLaren. I've been doing stuff with McLaren since my 12C, 720S, 765 LT Spider, and Coupe, and 650S. And I've driven a bunch of their cars through some of my friends as well, including the P1 and Speedtail and so forth. So to get this box was quite a surprise, honestly. And I might have made a mistake. I'm going to go over why. When you get this box in the mail, and I kind of showed you at the beginning of this video what's inside, which is a bunch of kind of McLaren memorabilia and agreements and details about how the ordering process and securing the W1 allocation works. You know, I had to make a commitment before knowing anything about the car and then go and see it in London. And given the circumstances of what I was doing, I wasn't able to go to London during those dates where honestly a lot of my friends were there and it would have been an amazing time. So because I wasn't able to make it to London, I didn't commit, you know, sight unseen on this. And now that the W1 has come out and all the details, I feel like, wow, I might have made a big mistake, and it might be too late for me to actually secure the W1. So let's jump into the specs. Some of this media comes from McLaren Publishing, some of it comes from their videos that they've put out, and I'm gonna go through all the crazy specs of this hypercar. Okay, so here it is, the McLaren W1. Taking a look at the front, it has some McLaren heritage. These kind of look like Sabre or Speedtail lights in the front. It's got a pretty big kind of S-duct. This is actually louvered, and looks like it comes from a LaFerrari pretty much. Coming onto the side view, typical McLaren style wheels. This kind of big side area is pretty cool. You can see a big McLaren logo coming in right over there. More to the side profile. It does have very small windows. So this is a big window. This is the portion that kind of drops down, similar to basically the McLaren Senna. So the new W1's powered by a new 4.0-liter V8 twin turbocharged. This is a flat plane crank engine. It also has an electric motor. It comes in over here. This weighs 44 pounds, comes from IndyCar, makes 352 horsepower, and is powered by a 1.4 kilowatt hour battery, which is tiny, and it has just about 1.6 miles of range. The battery takes about 22 minutes to recharge. This motor is an axial flux motor, so it's just tiny. It's crazy. You can get 352 horsepower to this little tiny 44-pound unit, and the engine itself is making, I think, like 915 horsepower, and it's got a new red line, the highest red line of any McLaren, coming at 9,200 RPM. So total output's like 1,275 PS or 1,256 horsepower, something like that. And on top of that, the car is extremely light. This car weighs in at just 3,100 pounds. And if you do the math, 1,270 horsepower and 3,100 pounds, that's just insane. That's like 2.4 pounds per horsepower from the McLaren. It's amazing. McLaren seems to be the only one who can do hybrid power and still keep lightweight. I mean, although my Revuelto has a V12 and that's a huge engine, my car comes in at like 4,300 pounds, which is just insane. The car has active aero in the front and the back. You can see the kind of aero designs coming through. You can see the air coming through the front, coming through the wheels to cool that, on through the sides here, down and out through the back. It's got a really cool trick rear spoiler here. This active long tail that comes out and back actually comes out almost a foot and then can kind of move up and down and act as an air brake or create additional downforce, or move completely in and produce less drag. So you can see we've got 1,000 kilograms of downforce. That's 2,205 pounds of downforce at 174 miles an hour. And it has 20% less drag than the Senna with its wing in the DRS position. Brakes are carbon ceramic discs. They're 15.4 inches all around all the axles. Onto the interior, you got your typical, this looks like a Senna display here. You got the binnacles, which are coming from the Artura, the 750S. You also have the DRS and boost buttons, which come from, of course, the McLaren P1. We got hydraulic steering in here. The interior is actually pretty cool looking. To save even more weight, the seats are actually built into the carbon monocoque. They don't move, so just the steering wheel and the pedals come to you. Okay, now onto the doors. These are gull-wing doors, or what they call them, anhedral doors. So departure from the dihedral doors of every McLaren before. And just look at how all the different aero bits can pass through how when this kind of comes into the car right here, how the air is coming straight through the door. Pretty cool design. This allows for actually more space, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. Taking a look at some of the more design elements, you got clear glass coming through the top here. This is not a roof scoop. It's more like an aerodynamic thing that's kind of pulling air down, possibly dropping down and trying to cool the engine a little more back here. The design is, it looks great. It looks like a mix of a lot of different cars, of course. It's getting a lot of kind of bipolar feedback from across the car community, but I think it's definitely going to grow on people as they see it more. Performance as from McLaren, it's going 0 to 124 miles an hour in 5.8 seconds. It's hitting 186 miles an hour in just 12.7 seconds. You compare that against a fast car, like let's say my Tesla Plaid. I just ran that in the half mile. It ran the half mile at 185 miles an hour, and that took 14.6 seconds. So you can imagine once this McLaren gets going, it's almost 2 seconds faster than a Tesla Plaid to 186 miles an hour. Just insane. So pricing comes in at $2.1 million to start. And the first time McLaren's including service with the car. So you got a 45,000 mile battery warranty plus a 4-year inclusive service plan. So no service. So you don't have to pay for service for the first 4 years. So overall, McLaren kept true to their heritage. Very powerful, rear-wheel drive. I think a lot of people with the hybrid assist would like to see all-wheel drive and really get those crazy launches down. But to save weight, they kept rear-wheel drive. One of the questions I had was, with only a small battery, 1.4 kilowatt hours, and it's making 350 horsepower, just how long does it take to drain that down, and how does the car recharge it so quick? Okay, so there you go. What do you think of the specs of the McLaren W1? I think it's pretty incredible. 2.4 pounds per horsepower, 3,100 pounds. I mean, it's actually lighter than the P1. It weighs less than the P1 that I weighed in at like 350 pounds. It's got 1,250 or 1,270 horsepower. Quarter mile times, I mean, yeah, it's going to run well into the 8s. I mean, we're doing 8.7 in a 765 LT, weighs probably about the same with a little less horsepower, and it's missing that instant torque of the hybrid and so forth. So let me know in the comments what you think. Did I make a mistake? Is it too late? I'm not sure. I'm going to have to reach out to McLaren and follow up and see if indeed my spot is gone. As always, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, helps the video on the channel, and we'll be out racing soon with these two, 765 LT Spider, Lamborghini Revuelto. Thanks for watching.